Yeah, so I think we're live. What's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. What's going on, guys? Good evening. I just wanted to hop on here real quick, as I always say that, and talk a little bit about the one, the truth, the man himself, which is Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao. Here this dude goes again. What's going on, Morris Prince? Making moves. Schooling the digital asset space community on what is good. Like, this guy is not playing. And I'm like, what in the world? This dude is not afraid to put his money where his mouth is, right? He is not messing around. And we all know what's up. We all know that this dude is got to be the number one fan for XRP. And here he goes investing in Securitize. Is that not crazy, guys? This dude is invested in Securitize now. Like, he's not messing around. He's already like the founding member of the Japanese Security Token Offering Association, something like that. And now he's invested in Securitize, which is Spring. We all know that Spring heavily invested in Securitize as well. Like, do you guys see what's going on? Like, they know. Like, this dude knows security token offerings. He knows what's about to take place. He knows 100% what's about to take place. And it's like, hold on a second. Let me get my my phone for a second. Yeah, guys. So this dude. Yeah. So got family in town, and I'm like having to. My office is being used right now, so mom is in town, all the way from Russia, and so I'm having to ad lib. I did it the other day in one of the bedrooms, but it's like, man, it was not comfortable in there. So Deep Mind Lab Vision? What's going on, man? Who invested in Securitize? Who invested in Securitize, says Deep Mind Lab Visionaire. Visionaire? Yes. Is Bison? Is that supposed to be Visionaire or Bisonaire? Because it says Bisonaire. But I'm hoping it's Deep Mind Lab Visionaire. I'm hoping that's what it is. What's going on, man? Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this dude. I'm telling you, this Mr. Kitao is the truth. He doesn't mess around. He does not mess around. Like, when I hear people talking about other projects, I just want to say to them, show me your Mr. Kitao. Show me the dude that you got on your side that is making moves, is doing his thing, supporting the platform, supporting your digital asset like a Mr. Kitao. Show me that dude. Like, this guy, he is not messing around. He's not. Happy holidays, E-Man. I don't think I've ever seen you on stream, my friend. How's it going? It is supposed to be Visionaire. Gotcha. I love that, man. Oh, his Visionaire was taken. Oh, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Yeah, Kitao invested, man. Yes, he did. This dude is no joke. And he invested in, let me give some shout outs before I tell you who that is, man. Crazy. Legendary is in the building. What's going on, man? Morris Prince, C7 is glad to see you, my man. Z-Boy, hello from Seattle. What's going on, dude? Dalton Roberts, what's up, bro? You be doing your thing in that investment perspectives Telegram chat, man. You will always bring some serious content to that chat, bro. I read all your comments. Truth be told, I read all your comments, Dalton, man. You seriously bring it, man. It's always good to see you in there. Mr. FOMO Sumo, happy holidays, my friend. What's going on? Out of the way, Jay, what's going on, bro? How you feeling? Happy holidays, man. I wanted to hop on here and do a stream real quick. But it's so funny. Between OBS Studio, which is the streaming application, and my new computer, like I feel like I can't touch a button on my new computer. Like, I should only press the power button and just go right to OBS, because if I press any other buttons, something happens. Like I've just spent like that last hour and a half trying to figure out the sound, thinking it was the OBS thing, and it was something I hit on my laptop. Hilarious. And so it is, you think one thing is for the sound, but it looks as though there's actually a sound and a microphone button, which I didn't. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm going to talk to you and share you guys. But let me give some shout out. Legendaries in the building. It's good to see you, Deep Lab Mind Visionaire. E-Man, splendid early days of XRP. Definitely an adventure, without question, E-Man, without question. Glad to see you in the stream, man. Now, I've seen this name before, but I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Is it Sarasota Repub 1? Did I say that right? Sarasota Repub 1. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you in the stream. I don't think I've seen you here. TJ Jackson. What is going on, dude? Dalton Roberts says, I just do my best to contribute. You're doing a good job, man. I'm telling you. We all make that channel what it is together. XRP family, without question. Without question. M. Grimes, what is going on? Z-Boy, what's up? What's up? Kitao is the shit. Kitao is the shit. He is a one bad Yakuza. Yeah, I don't know what Yakuza means, but if it means he is one bad dude, you are 100% correct. What is it? Oh, is that right? Japanese mafia, the better half. Mrs. Crypto Siege said. Miss Crypto Siege said. Japanese mafia. Just joined. Who invested in Securitize? Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao and Staff Sergeant of Marines. What's going on? That's right. You want to be with winners. That's exactly right. What's going on? Yeah, man. That's crazy, right? This dude invested in Securitize. SBI Holdings injects a seven-figure sum. Seven-figure sum into Securitize. Let me make sure I got this right so you guys can see it. Make sure you guys can see this. Can you guys now see that? Japanese conglomerate SBI injects seven-figure sum into Securitize. Yes? Awesome, right? It's like, listen, every time I turn around, this guy is making some moves on behalf of XRP and Ripple, right? And you guys know I did that video. I hope Brad sees it one day. I did a video like 3-4 months ago. It was in the summertime, and the video was titled I think it was Brad Garlinghouse. Shh, Mr. Kitao is speaking. Like shut up, be quiet, and listen up, because this dude is doing his thing, and I'm 1,000% convinced that he was the one who came up with the idea and the strategy behind investing in MoneyGram. That's this dude's reputation. This dude's reputation is finding those assets, those companies that he can invest in and or acquire. Like remember, think about the significant holdings he has in Ripple. Think about the significant holdings that he has in R3. Every time you turn around, this dude guy has so much money. He's making all the right moves. He's going to be like the number one player in the digital asset space. And I get digital currency group. I get them, but I'm telling you, Mr. Kitao is all about XRP, right? Seven-figure sum into Securitize. Japanese financial services conglomerate SBI Holdings has invested a seven-figure sum into Securitize, a provider of services for issuing digital securities. The investment announced Tuesday. What's today? Today Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. Huh. The investment announced Tuesday. I didn't hear anything about this yesterday. It comes just 2 months after Securitize announced it had raised a combined $14 million from Santander Bank and MUFG Ripple Partners. The exact amount injected by SBI wasn't disclosed, but Carlos Domingo, Securitize founder and CEO, told CoinDesk that there are 6 zeros at the end of the figure. He said his company intends to use the funds in part to build out its new Japan office, which will be open by the end of the year. We're going to do business there, and that involves not only finding customers in Japan, but also localizing the technology and making sure you know the language for the next similar types of integrations that you might be looking at, he said. Securitize already has a subsidiary set up in the country, though Domingo expects to launch with a small crew initially. In a statement, and I'm going to read something else after this, but in a statement, SBI Holdings CEO and President Mr. They should always put Mr. in front of Yoshitaka Kitao. Like, they should not be leaving out the Mr. on this dude. Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao said his company strongly believes in the future of digital securities, citing Securitize as one leading player in the industry. Okay, let me see what else I got on this thing here. Yep, here's the one that's the really good one. And I love it when they say strategic investment, right? Because that's about making moves that are smart. Securitize, a compliant blockchain-based securities platform, acquires strategic investment from SBI Holdings. From SBI Holdings. Like, I'm going to read more of that in a second, but guys, I just want you to really think about that. Really, really think about that for a second, right? That is, I'm going to change out of it. No, I'm not going to change out of that. I mean, that's crazy, right? I'm telling you guys, this dude will not let XRP fail. Like, a lot of people are like, they don't understand. Not only do we have Mr. Brad Garlinghouse, not only do we have people from the United States government on the board for Ripple, and Mr. Kitao is on the board for Ripple as well. Okay, not only got people running and scrambling, trying to be a part of the behemoth that is Ripple. We have Mr. Kitao over there in Japan just waiting. I mean, MoneyPay, SBI Remit, waiting to do all he can. Guys, listen, we got 43 people in the stream, and just only 11 likes. Please get out and smash that like, and it helps tremendously with the algorithm of the channel. Guys, I'm telling you, this is crazy. This dude, I'm telling you, who else has that? Like, who else has that? We already know about, what is it? We already know about Spring and the things that they're doing. But think about Mr. Kitao. He is an army unto himself. He doesn't have to wait for Mr. Mnuchin. He doesn't have to wait for Jerome Powell. He doesn't have to wait for the Donald, right? He doesn't have to wait for President Trump. This dude is going out there and making moves that he understands without question what's about to happen. I mean, come on. Monterey, thanks for the $5 super chat, Monterey. I definitely appreciate that, my friend. Love your content. Thank you, bro. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. Oh, there we go. Definitely appreciate that. So, think about that. You think about that. I like your style live, not driving in a car. That's so funny, the real Rick G. I like your style live, not driving a car. You come across much more credible live. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's funny because you're in a minority on that thinking, though. I'm going to tell you that, my friend. Because a lot of people be like, yeah, Siege, you need to get back in that car. You need to get back in that car, go find you a nice scenic route and start driving. XRP Lava, what's going on? Yes, right. Absolutely, Dalton Roberts. I appreciate that. Best investment in the crypto space, without question. Without question. Deep Mind Lab Visionaire says, Siege, you planning on going to Swell next year? Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. Is there a minimum social media ranking needed? No, I don't believe there is. I just think, I just know for sure that the people from Ripple are paying attention to the content creators, and they made a decision on who they offered the invites to. But they pay attention. That they 100% pay attention to the different content creators. And I've seen Schwartz hop on a couple of different people's live streams, so they pay attention. And so, but I don't know if, I don't think there was like this minimum subs or anything like that. But I know that I had decided that I'm going to do whatever is necessary to bring content and feel as though when those people start looking in for the next invites next year, that, that we will be invited, we'll be included on that list. So we'll see what's going on with that. Is there a minimum social media ranking needed? Would be amazing to see you streaming from there. Oh, I appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate that. That's the goal. I can tell you that for sure. The real Rick G says, Siege, I'm the guy who said you should put your creed, old money, etc. on a t-shirt. Oh wow. Don't forget my don't forget my triple X large for free. When or if you do it. So what I hear what you're saying. So you're saying that whole outro, are you saying that whole outro I should put on there, or just old money doesn't want you to win? So tell me about that, the real Rick G. Are you talking about that whole outro? Or are you just talking about, that thing, old money doesn't want you to win? Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I gotta tell you. I'm a simple man. See a new Siege upload. I hit like before watching. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This is nuts. What's going on, my friend? How you doing, bro? They said I should do a T-shirt and put the creed on there, like my mantra, the creed, whatever, something like that. That is a good idea. Nick Roth, I'm doing outstanding, my friend. How you doing, bro? Deep Line Visionary says, I missed the driving too, to be honest. Cash Flow Juan, what is good? What's good? Love the show, Siege. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Papa Bear XRP, what's going on? Don't you have a channel? Do you have a channel, Papa Bear? We can only go up from here. 2020 is the year to fly without question. I agree 100%. The real Rick G said, don't forget my t-shirt with your old money ECT on front and back. Okay. He says you'll make a mint. That's what he said. TJ Jackson, without question, that's what I'm gonna keep doing, man. I'm gonna mix in the driving. I'm gonna sprinkle some of those in for sure, but I'm gonna just keep doing my thing, right? And I could keep contributing to the community, to the XRP community, and keep continuing to add to the digital asset space the best I can, for as long as I can. This is not say, can I be a cameraman if you get to swell 2020? Yeah, so she does. It's funny too, because my daughters think about, doing that. So we have to see what's going to happen with that, bro. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm certain it'll be me and Liz Crypto Siege heading out that way. Because she loves travel. So where's it going to be? It's going to be in London, so that'll be a good trip, right? Some on the front and some on the back. Oh, okay, the real Rick G. I got you. Some on the front, some on the back. Ending with, are you in it or standing on or standing on the sidelines? Yeah, I hear you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. It's funny. I was really wondering if Kimes is gonna. He said he was gonna reach out, but he hasn't yet, about getting me on the what is it? The Kryptoneers documentary. I just thought the outro, I'm like, look, I haven't talked with him about it yet, but I'd be like, look, just put the outro on there, right? You don't even need me on it. Just use that outro. Where did Siege come from? Two different things. So it's actually CJ, and I just decided to spell it a different way to switch things up when I started doing more things online. And so CJ is just really a CJ. The initial C and initial J are initials from my first and middle name. And Siege was just another way to spell CJ. When I was playing sports, high school sports, and when I first went to the military, they always called me Siege. They would just call me Siege, even though I told it was CJ. They just started calling me Siege, and I decided that was a good time to start using it again once I started doing things online. We have a business page on Facebook, and that's what I use there. A lot of different stuff that we do online, I use the CEEJ, so that's kind of where it came from. Deep Mind Lab Visionaire says, CJ, how did you get into crypto? Probably the same way like a lot of people did. Heard about the bull run that was kind of going on in into 16 and into 2017. And I actually watched it. I didn't actually get into it. I was just kind of watching. So it was like maybe the beginning of 16, middle of 16. I was just kind of watching. And then I hadn't invested any money into it. I was just watching, getting on, getting on, getting off, getting on, getting off, and just kind of watching. And then decided to, take some of that fiat currency and kind of get into the space. But a lot of it had to do with Tika Tawari because I invest in a lot of financial subscriptions. And so a lot of it had to do with him as well. Yep. How did you get into crypto? Hit the like button, guys. Yeah, definitely. Please hit the like button, guys, coming in or going out. It definitely helps with the algorithm, with the channel. Jarvis Campbell says, I just bought more XRP. I hear that. I hear that. Okay. I hear you. This is not says, I thought it was. My firstborn is CJ also. Oh, I hear you. I hear that. XRP Lava says, since we are asking personal questions, could you talk about who your mentor was? Yes, absolutely. So I had, I met a guy named Lloyd back in 85, late 85, 1985, who we were in business together. And he kind of took me in. I was young, hadn't turned, I was, a teenager. And he took me in and he schooled me on some things, real estate. He schooled me on business. For sure. And yeah, that was the dude. That was the one. He's like a father figure to me, right? Because my mom raised me. My sister's as a single mom. And so, yeah, so that was he was like everything to me without question, everything without me. But that's one of them. A lot of times I refer to, I'm big into personal development. And a lot of times I'll say one of my mentors. I won't say the mentor if we're talking about Lloyd, but a lot of times I say one of my mentors. And that could be, Arthur Schopenhauer. That could be Jim Rohn. That could be, Eric T. Thomas, right? The hip hop dude, the hip hop preacher. But Jim Rohn. But the one when I really talk about my mentor, talking about the three different phases and stuff like that, it is without question Lloyd. What does that say? Jason GO2. Thanks for the $5 super chat. He said first. He said first. What's going on? But yeah, so that's kind of the news, right? I mean, just think about that. Mr. Kitao doing this thing now. What is Securitize? Are you guys familiar with what Securitize does? Are you watching, babe? Oh, I hope I'm on the right thing. I think I am. No, I was just making sure I was on the right scene. I am on the right one. So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's see what the Crowdfund Insider says about this investment. It is. Securitize, a globally accessible solution for development compliant blockchain digital securities, has reportedly completed another strategic, no, it wasn't a fundraise, in order to further develop its technology platform to modernize the legacy securities industry. The latest investment comes from SBI Investment. But I like that. It says compliant blockchain base. Securitize enables the compliant trading of private securities on public blockchains and multiple exchanges. Its DS protocol, which compliantly manages secondary trading and corporate actions for digital securities, is a proven full-stack technology solution with one of the highest adoption rates in the industry. Japan's economic strength, digital society, and advanced regulatory environment make it an attractive market for tokenization. And SBI is playing a leading role in this movement as a founding member of the Japan Security Token Offering Association. The SBI Group, says President and CEO of SBI Holdings, Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao, The SBI Group strongly believes in the future of digital securities. Securitize is a leading player in this industry, and we look forward to fully supporting them in the future. So they're doing big. Securitize is doing big things. And I saw this one as well, and I think this is really, really interesting. Just think about this. Modulus partners with Securitize. Modulus has formed a partnership with security token issuance platform Securitize. Modulus is I think that's Modulus, is a fintech provider that provides services to professional traders, brokerage, trading firms, and more. Modulus says its products and services reach millions of users around the world. The company also has entered into the crypto sector. Richard Gardner, CEO of Modulus, said that Securitize is the world's leading security blockchain protocol provider, and it has developed new technology for compliance. We're thrilled to have secured a deal which allows Modulus to offer that technology to its clients within its own exchange solution, a solution capable of processing over 10 million transactions per second. And I know you guys, if you've heard me say this before, and let me get over here for a second because I'm going to ramble for a bit. Let me do this. I know you guys have heard me say this before, that I don't sleep on Securitize and Dharma, right? Dharma's kind of doing with that corporate debt, Securitize and the security token offerings, because that, right? So big real money, Wall Street sees that's where we're going, and they're ahead of the game in doing that. And then you add in Kava, right? You throw in Kava Labs, and it's like it's all over. Ripple is all over that. Security tokens, corporate debt with Dharma. Then you got the collateralized debt positions with Kava Labs and everything that they're doing. Don't forget about I forget the guy, Bob Ross, and the company that he's starting. He's building his company on XRP-L. And I forget his name right now. But when you think about the moves that's going on right now, that's taking place, this is a home run. They're not messing around. Like, Mr. Kitao understands the deal. And you throw in that brilliant mind with his ability to find strategic partners, and then you throw in Brad Garlinghouse, and then you throw in David Schwartz and Ethan Beard and the rest of them, and all things at Spring, it's game over. It is game over in a lot of ways. What else did I find? I went on Twitter. Oh, let me go over these prices real quick. Make sure this is up to date. Coinfairvalue.com. I like what they're doing. And I saw something on Twitter. They updated something as well, and how they're evaluating the prices of the digital assets. We don't speculate. Fair values displayed here are based on current uses of each coin. They don't contain speculation on future variations of their uses. We leave speculation to investors. I haven't checked this out today. Let's see what's going on. So the current price for Bitcoin's gone up a few $100, is $7,571. The fair value price, if you will, is $6,100. Look at XRP. The price is 22.5 cents, and the fair value is $1.86. I have a feeling that they are going to be just about right on when the bull run comes. Let me read you their definition of fair value. Intrinsic or theoretical value of the coin according to its current usage. Fair value is the result of a new yet simple, rational economic model for currencies, similar to what discounted cash flow is for stocks. So that's what we got there. 22 cents, and the fair value is $1.86. Unbelievable. Let me show you what is going on in the world of Twitter that I wanted to kind of capture a few of these things. So you guys have heard, did you guys hear the word about Ripple Partners Finabler inks an Alipay blockchain remittance deal? Now, where did let's do this. Let's do this. Guys, I'm telling you can, and I didn't even get into this article here. I haven't even. I should go over this, like SDRs. How many of you guys have been following what is it? The Digital Nomad Investor DNI. A virtual SDR, special drawing right, could facilitate SDR use in private transactions, creating a global cryptocurrency that circulates along with cryptocurrencies backed by central banks. And I just believe that, the digital nomad investor is probably thinking to myself, it is about to happen. But I'm going to go over that later because I haven't gone over it yet. But, the whole idea of IMF being open to it, the SDR, let me do this. The SDRs rethinking, the time has come. Rethinking the special drawing right could bolster the IMF's role in the global financial safety net. And I'm telling you guys, if you have not gone over to the Digital Nomad Investors channel and checked out the XRP manifesto, you need to do it. I think it's up to 3.0, but you definitely need to check that out because it is playing out exactly like this guy said, exactly like he said. I'm not going to read that yet. Let me see something here. Yeah, I'm not going to read that yet. But so there's a Securitize thing, and I think that's huge in a lot of ways. SBI and Securitize, PwC, that's one of them. The Finabler thing is cool. Alipay, we obviously could see that it got Ripple in here, right? Finabler technology attributes capabilities and business attributes. I said attributes. Finabler technology attributes capabilities and business impact. You can see down here, it says origination, processing, the last mile, connectivity, direct connectivity to the SWIFT, Ripple, and national payment schemes in major markets, integrated to over 190 institutional partners to ensure last mile, like in settlement, distribution. And you can see here, they got the picture of the behemoth, the greatest digital asset ever created, which is XRP. And when you think about that, it's like a bunch of stuff. I mean, King Solomon, let me do this. Shout out big time to King Solomon. He has been bringing the news today in big time with best-in-class operating capabilities. That's another thing kind of highlighting Ripple and Swift integrations. That's a huge, real time. Here's the thing. It says treasury here. Treasury. Real-time 24/7 FX pricing. Real-time 24/7 FX pricing. A payment processing infrastructure. 200 plus operational bank accounts globally. And that's an equal sign right there. Yeah. Ripple and Swift integration. Are you noticing more and more people coming out and kind of posting stuff and more news kind of coming out? It's kind of been behind the doors, behind the curtains, if you will, and now it's out in front of mainstream media about all things with Ripple and XRP and where it's going. Whereas I watched a YouTube video from Ripple, I guess it was one of the latest Ripple releases, and they shared, where is it? Was it this one? I can't play it because my thing is terrible. It's not that one. It's not that one. And it had two guys on there. One was in charge of product. I don't want to do it. I might say the wrong thing. Oh, look at that! It's got my stream up there. It has my stream up there. So this one right here, how XRP and Ripple technology power an international payment, and it showed two different scenarios. One, it basically was X current, and the other was X rapid. And the major difference was in its ability to scale with X rapid, but also the price reduction and different things like that. But I love that they showed both of them. Let me show you a little bit about what was on there. If I have this, pull this up for you guys. You're all set. All files are synced. Okay. And this is something I took some screenshots, kind of like of the presentation, and you can see that they're kind of demonstrating how it works and different things like that. But this says a bilateral separation between the sender and the receiver. I mean, that's cool and everything. The RippleNet members looking to send or receive payments or both. Either the sender or receiver can provide foreign exchange. I mean, this is kind of an overview of that presentation, but you definitely want to go check out that video for sure. And then it has the payment, different deliveries. The payment can be sent to a bank account, a digital wallet. They kept saying digital wallet too, card account, or cash pickup locations. RippleNet messaging protocol, right? And so that's kind of the current thing. This API-based bi-directional messaging component that exchanges no KYC and risk information, fees, FX rates, if applicable, payment details, and expected time of funds delivered. So it was two examples of basically the X-current and then the kind of the greater benefits of the ODL. But I wanted to share this with you guys because let me see something here. Yeah, that's good. I wanted to share that a little bit with you guys because the way they laid that presentation out, that you could tell that they were speaking to the potential customers. Like, for example, one of the customers that was there that does $300 billion a day looking to use XRP. You could tell they were speaking to them and speaking their language. The greatest advantage that they spoke to was in using ODL was freeing up a lot of the $10 trillion that sits in Nostra Vostra accounts all over the world. You know what I mean? I mean, absolutely genius. Absolutely genius. Let me read some of these. Some of what's going on in this chat. Rod Hot, what's going on, bro? How you doing, man? I know you're in the time stream a lot. You're in Brad time stream a lot, right? It's good to see you here, man. I appreciate you being here, bro. Playing hide and seek with my kids. Alex G, what's going on, bro? F Castle, what's going on, man? You're at it again. Crypto Siege, keep it up. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely gonna do this. We're gonna do this thing for sure. Oh, the real Rick G, I appreciate that, my dude. I appreciate that. Your stream is great. You come across much more real, plain talking, no chive, truthful, and easy going. I like your style. I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot to me, bro. I appreciate that, really. Thanks for being here, man. Thoughts on BRICS' effect on XRP, if any? Well, it does. It will have an effect on XRP only because, listen, when you get major nations like China and Russia, and isn't India under the BRICS? I think what is it? Brazil, Russia, I believe it's India, China, and South Africa, right? When you get major nations saying, look, we're not gonna deal with, we're no longer wanting to accept the fact that the US dollar is the global world reserve currency. We want a different avenue. We want a different path. And the fact that those people are saying that, to me, is great for XRP because it's going to force the hand of the U.S. to make a move. All right, you played your hand with this BRICS thing. This is what we're going to do. And in my opinion, it is going to be XRP because they know that XRP will solve the biggest challenge that all nations have right now, and that is the global economic crisis of illiquidity. And President Trump, who signed the executive order 13772 and mentions Ripple in that, knows exactly what XRP can do. It's without question, it is the Donald's ace in the hole, in my opinion, Deep Live Visionaire. In my opinion. And he knows it. And he knows that he's going to, and I've said this in my videos before when I was driving, I can see it and I can hear the Donald, what's his name? Mnuchin, Jerome Powell, one of those dudes saying, Ripple and, the people from Ripple and from day one, they've been fully compliant. They want to work with us. They want to work with the banks and damn the Bitcoins, right? You can just hear it. You can just hear it. And that is going to be their answer to BRICS. And to get them to play along, those nations, look, you owe us some money. We owe you some money. We got this digital asset. We have this digital asset, and we'll give you some via your central banks or whatever. We'll work on our debt amongst each other. We'll figure that thing out. And by the way, we know based upon the market makers and the liquidity providers and the NASDAQ XPRL, that this thing is going to be about this price. And so, you can have some of this at this price, but we pretty much can ensure you that it's going to be at this price a year from now, 2 years from now. And this is the thing that we're going to use as a bridge currency all over the world. And in order for that to do its thing, it has to be at a certain price. So these kind of talks and these kind of discussions, I can just, like I was a fly in the wall in the room, I know this is what's coming. It's no doubt. And then you see that article that I just pulled up about, don't you think it's interesting that now they're kind of putting out mainstream that they're considering this whole new SDR thing and a new way of looking at it, and the IMF is the one looking at it? And don't you see that the head of the IMF, who is Mark Carney, is so familiar with this digital asset that is XRP because he was using it. They were using it at the Bank of England. He's going to have zero problem in trusting it because he understands what it's all about. He understands the value behind it. You know what I mean? I don't know about that, but that's what they say. I don't know, Deep One. 10 million transactions per second. What? Is that proven under real world conditions? I don't know, my friend. I don't know. It's a great question. But I do know the people from Securitize and Dharma. They have a couple of telegrams, Kava. They have some Telegram chats. You can get on there. You can ask some questions, and they like responding. It's a small. I saw the size of the company is pretty small, and they have some hiccups every now and then with the stuff that they're doing. But you can certainly ask them there. I'm certain of that. Genius in motion, says TJ Jackson. Exactly. Ripple and all things Ripple is just genius in motion, man. M. Grimes says, amen, preach. Yeah, I know, absolutely it is. But I think that so is CMC, right? I think so is CMC. And don't you think it's interesting that CMC, I don't like to use their name because they don't seem to me to be fans of XRP. Don't you think it's interesting, Deep Mind Lab visionary, that their CMC is putting in new liquidity metrics, quote unquote, liquidity metrics into their thing? I think it's really, really interesting. I think it's really, really, really interesting that they're doing that. Who said this site is right? No, it's not. It's what's this guy's name? Chantalao Zanwa. It's not about or none of them are government approved. Like none of them. The only thing that's going to be government approved is the stuff that's going to come from backed Chantalao Zanwa and NASDAQ. In the end, CMC, LiveCoinWatch.com, all of those cats are going to have to figure out a way, right? Because mainstream to stay in business, because mainstream media and Wall Street is going to be going to the NASDAQ and all things NASDAQ around the price, spot price, value, whatever liquidity index. They're going to be mainstream media because Wall Street's going to tell mainstream media where to go. And then that means the masses are going to go to those sites. It's going to be something from BAC. It's going to be something from Fidelity. It's going to be something that, from TD Ameritrade. It's going to be something from the NASDAQ. So I don't think it's coin fair value is any more or less legit than coin market cap, right? I mean, that we all know that's a bunch of BTC maxis who put that together. $1.08, not 86 cents. Oh, it was $1.08? I thought it was $1. Oh, you're right. It is that. My bad. It is $1.08. Thank you, the Boiling Crypto. I appreciate that. I don't think I've seen the stream, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. The Boiling Crypto. He said not 86. Too many variables that could affect those formulas. Yeah, absolutely. And they just updated in terms of how they're calculating it as well. But I like kind of like the metrics when they say usage, and different things like that. I think it's an interesting one. But you know what? Wouldn't we all agree that price for XRP is it doesn't make sense when you factor in all the partnerships? And even if you just talk about the 24 or so people that they said are in fact using ODL, not Xcurrent, even though you can get access to XRP through Xcurrent 4.0. Doesn't it seem odd that that's 20-something cents? XRP Lava says, how about the talk of a Fed coin? How would that affect everything, do you think? Well, I think a Fed coin is not going to be any different than a USDC DC. Am I saying that right? USDC. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be any different than any kind of like stable coin. I just don't. I don't know how the Fed coin that's been around for a while now. This whole Fed coin, I first heard of it from a guy named way back that he said the U.S. was going to have. I forget, Doug Casey. But in terms of XRP, XRP is going to be that bridge currency settlement mechanism. There's no coin that can come out and kind of replace that and do that any better. A Fed coin to me is just another example of a walled garden. In the end, central bank digital currencies is what I was thinking. CBDCs, I don't think it's any different than Fed coin will be any different than that, right? Because it's a central bank, right? I don't think it'll be any different than that. But for the U.S. to use their CBDC with Russia or with China or whoever, there's going to have to be a bridge currency involved in that, because BRICS is about them saying we're not going to be beholden to the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency any longer. Well, we got our type of CBDC, central bank digital currency, and Russia has theirs, and China is already putting theirs out. Essentially, they got to have a way. They got to have a way to kind of exchange that value in some way, shape, or form when it comes to trade, and that is going to be, in my humble opinion, all XRP. Please, Bitcoin is inferior tech compared to XRP. Without question, Alex G. It's not even close. Deep Mind Lab Visionaire says, CJ, what's the holdup on U.S. regs? I think the holdup is that they want to make sure that all the pieces are in place and all the players are set up. I think that, people like the DTC, the DTCC, the TCH, the clearinghouse, I don't know if it's the Fed or not, this whole Fed now thing, but I just think that the people, there's a reason why Ripple, the company, is going out and working with 50 central banks, 50 governments rather. Like, there's a reason for that, right? It feels like it's going to be this collaborative effort to one point just flip that switch. That's what it feels like to me. And I just think that the U.S. is wanting to make sure that they're prepared. And of course, they're probably trying to figure out a way to make sure that they can keep the upper hand, right? So you're not going to just say, oh, you don't want our dollar as the reserve currency? Oh, okay. Now, what are we going to do now? Like they've known this for a while, right? Putin, this is not the first time Putin is talking, the kind of stuff that he's talking. That's not the first time, right? And he has no reservation about boldly speaking what's on his mind about the U.S. reserve currency, right? And so don't think it's a mistake. And quite honestly, don't think it's a mistake that Mark Carney on mainstream media, Bloomberg, I believe it was, says that, I think this whole U.S. dollar's reserve currency is kind of hurting people. I think it's hurting us, the U.S. I think it's hurting other people. I think this is a better option. Don't think that conversation is on accident. Like he just woke up this morning and said, you know what, I'm going to call out the U.S. dollar as a reserve currency. No, that's not on accident. And they are friends. They are allies. They're friends of the U.S. So that wasn't on accident. It was basically, it was letting the world know, I already know I'm heading to the IMF. And, I spoke on this a couple of months ago about the U.S. dollar. I think it's time to kind of really, really strongly consider this whole digital asset space. And this digital asset out there, that's XRP, that has all of these different things that it can do. We can place it in the basket. We can place it alongside the basket. We can place the SDR. I don't think it's an accident. I think they know. And I think, to answer your question, Deep Mind Lab Visionaire, I think they just want to make sure all the pieces are in place. And I'm going to read you a comment from one of the guys who hangs out on this channel. He said something that I thought was pretty interesting. He commented on one of my streams, and hopefully I can find the comment. That I thought was really, really interesting. Really smart guy. Let me read you this. This is from Robert Westbury. He hangs out in the stream every now and then. So he watched, I guess I did a video in the car, and he made a comment on it. I just think it's interesting. He said, nice video. I actually watched the DIY's investing video when I was stuck at the airport last week, and I was really impressed with him as well. The only thing I have about TA with XRP is that the sociology driving the XRP market will ultimately be the banks and bankers' sociology, which is slow and methodical until ready to move, and not the general market speculators. We as speculators are here doing what we are to the market. We're not manipulated, he has in parentheses, correct? However, when they, in parentheses, are ready to move, they will do so in a manner, and this guy's a banking background. However, when they are ready to move, they will do so in a manner that will catch most of the world off guard and not allow them to get in on the moonshot. And he says, but that's just my opinion. I love the driving videos. Since you live in a beautiful part of the country, keep sprinkling them in now and then. Sprinkling them in now and then, right? So, and I know I've heard that in the community before about, one day it's going to be at this price, and like here's the thing that I would ask you. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I'll ask you guys this: if we woke up tomorrow and XRP was $100, like, I don't know, like, what do you think the people at NASDAQ and the XRP Liquidity Index are doing over there? You think they're just kind of putting software together? And like, what if you wake up tomorrow and it's $100? What if you wake up tomorrow and it's $10? Let's just say $10. How many people do you think are going to still keep buying XRP? Like, and then 3 weeks from now, 3 weeks from tomorrow, it's $50. Like, and with this NASDAQ index, what if we, like, wait a minute, how did it get to $10? And what? It's $100. Like, what if the media starts questioning it? Do you think that they're going to question the NASDAQ when the NASDAQ says this is what it is? I don't think so. All I do know is there's a reason that they have an XRP liquidity index on the NASDAQ. It's not for zero reason. It's for a reason. And whether it be the FX market, the derivatives market, we already know about the derivatives, the people from the derivatives market mentioning and talking about. It was one guy, it was an older guy, and he was talking about the derivatives market. And he said, I don't think Ripple and XRP. He said Ripple, he said XRP. He said, I don't think Ripple and XRP, that digital asset, is going to replace Swift, but I could see them working really, really hand in hand, like a 1-2 punch in the derivatives market. He said in the derivatives market. And this is one of these, kind of like the guy from the BIS. He looked in age like he wasn't as unhealthy as the head guy at the BIS. Holy cow! But he looked like him, similar to that, and he had a kind of similar position. And I don't know if it was the DTCC, which I think it was, but he mentioned that in his conversation with being interviewed. He said, "Well, I don't think about Ripple. I don't know if Ripple's going to replace Ripple and XRP. Their digital asset is going to replace Swift." But I can see them working hand in hand with Swift. Swift has all these whatever, this 10,000 whatever they got, banks, whatever. But I can see them working hand in hand and he said in the derivatives market, which was his market. Everyone knows about that XRPL, that they're getting more and more educated on the XRPL ledger and what it can do. KYC. It knows what you bought, when you bought it. It can prove it's a ledger and it's a settlement mechanism. It has all the information that a bank, that a treasury, that an FI would want, that a government institution like the Fed now would want. It can track it all. It can track it all. And then you throw in the speed and in the derivatives market. You throw in the speed in the derivatives market, and you're giving these dudes an extra few seconds to do a thing. Tell me what's out there that can do that. There's nothing out there that can do that, right? What we got going on here in the? Did I miss it? No, I didn't miss a super chat. Let's see what we got. It says we can't see you. Can't see me now. Wait a minute, what's going on? You can't see me now. Flip the switch. I'm ready to be rich. Can you guys see me now? Who's saying that? Make sure you guys can see me, man. Did I not flip back? Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? Please let me know if you can see me. Can you see me, guys? I got one comment that says you guys couldn't see me, so I want to make sure you can. Or do I have to switch back to the other one where I'm in the full screen? Can you guys see me here? Please let me know what's up. Can't touch it. This dude, E-Man says 5% withdrawal. Can't touch it until 100. I hear you. Legendary, what's good? He says, flip the switch. I'm ready to be rich. And that's kind of Morris Prince C7 says, you guys can see me. Okay, cool. You think that all the people, XRP Hodler says, you think that of all the people who know what's coming and all the people who speak publicly concerning digital assets, that somebody at some point would slip up and say XRP. Well, there are some people saying XRP, man. There's some people there were some people at Swell saying XRP, but I don't think that Mnuchin. Why would Mnuchin or whoever? I think it was Mnuchin, might have been Powell, but one of the two of them. Why would they mention MoneyGram? The only company in traditional space that is directly working with Ripple, the company, and directly using XRP. That has got to make you think. Guys, there's 60 people in the stream here. Please smash the like. If you hadn't had a chance to sub, please sub if you like the content here. We're running to 5,000 subs. Don't you think that's interesting? Why mention MoneyGram? The only traditional company out there, and they know that they're using the greatest digital asset ever created. You don't think Mnuchin and Powell and the Donald, you don't think that they know President Trump? You don't think that they know that MoneyGram is using this digital asset that is XRP? You don't think that they know the the statistics behind it and the money that's been, the numbers. You don't think they know the quarter 2, quarter 3 report and the numbers? How is this thing big? They know. They're paying attention. But I just think, XRP highlight, I said this before in the stream, early in the stream, but I just feel I can hear literally the Donald talking about Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple and this digital asset that they have and how we're going to use it as this whatever it's going to be, global currency, this bridge currency. I can hear him. I can hear Powell. I can hear Mnuchin mentioning Ripple, the company, mentioning Brad Garlinghouse, and mentioning this digital asset that is XRP. I can hear Mark Carney saying it at the IMF. And it might be him first. And here's the thing. If Carney mentions it first, here's the thing that I'll tell you. In the same way that when Mark Carney said, I don't know about this U.S. dollar as the world currency anymore. I just, I don't think, it's kind of hurting them, it's hurting us, hurting a lot of people. And no pushback from Mnuchin, no pushback from Powell. What do they got to lose? They got nothing to lose. Why didn't they push back? You ever think about, the Donald, he's got the whole election thing kind of going on. Maybe he don't want to battle. Why didn't Mnuchin say something? Why didn't anybody, Mnuchin, Powell, why didn't they say, well, it's kind of crazy, replacing U.S. dollar, nothing, right? Nothing from them cats, nothing, not a zero, zilch. So probably the same thing will happen when he mentions XRP. Probably the same thing will happen when he says, we know this digital asset, and we know that it can do this. We know it's been freeing up notional reversal accounts for the banks because we've tested it ourselves. Actually, we're talking tens of trillions of dollars. What if he speaks on it? What if Mark Carney from the IMF speaks on it? My thing is, if Mnuchin or Powell or the Donald say anything, it would be in agreement with Mark Carney at the IMF. I think there's a reason why Trump is kind of in this little battle thing with Powell, right? And then maybe the IMF can come, kind of be the the workaround, kind of the answer. So Donna could have his, Donna could always say that he was always pushing for this and pushing for this because he's just trying to get elected again. And then you got the people of the IMF, kind of doing their thing amongst the central banks, and this is what we want to do. And XRP is the one. It's the standard. Makes perfectly good sense to me. What do you guys think? Frozen image again. What? I said we want to see you. Oh, okay. So, am I frozen now? We got bad internet going on here. Can you guys? They said they could see me. Oh, he just said that Deep Blind Visionaire said frozen image again. What is going on with that? I mean, stream seems like it's working fine. Let me go check this other one. I don't want to be frozen. Let me see if you guys can see me here. Am I frozen? Because it looks like no, I'm not. Are you seeing me in the whole kitchen and all that? All right, so I don't know what's going on with that one there, guys. But you see what I'm saying though? You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about that. Mark Carney said that about the U.S. dollar. No pushback, zero, nada. So what's stopping him? I mean, don't you think it's interesting that article? Let me read this article to you. Don't you think that article is interesting? That the timing of that article about the SDR and the fact that the IMF is contemplating changing how they're going to deal with the SDR. Now that Mark Carney's in there, don't you think that's interesting? I really do think that's interesting. Let me see if I cannot find that article. And hopefully it's not going to freeze. But when I show the article, they can't see it, right? Tell me if they see this article. Can you see this? Huh? See if you guys can see this. If not, I got to switch the scene on the OBS. You're still just seeing me, right? Yeah, so I can't do it that. That's why I have to change the scene so I can show the articles. Yes. Let me show you this article. I just think it's interesting. Let me know when you can see that. I got the better half over here. You see it? All right, so check this guys out. Right now, again, check this out. A virtual SDR could facilitate we all know what that's talking about, right? Digital. A virtual SDR could facilitate the SDR's use in private transactions, creating a global digital asset that could circulate. I hate the cryptocurrencies that could circulate along with digital assets backed by central banks. Right? So they're talking two different digital assets. They're talking about a standalone digital asset used in private transactions, creating a global cryptocurrency that could circulate along other cryptos. So a digital asset around a digital asset backed by central banks. A step further in finance IM programs with, why is that block not whatever there? SDR that have been allocated, thus enabling global monetary creation to take place in a way similar to that in which central banks create domestic money. This would be the most important reform of the system and would echo the proposals made 4 decades ago by the eminent IMF economist Jacques Pollock. The simplest way would be to treat the SDR's special drawing rights, the special drawing right countries hold, as deposits in the IMF, which the institution could then lend to countries in need. So the simplest way would be to treat the SDR, this is the new digital asset they're talking about, virtual or digital, countries hold as deposits in the IMF, which the institutions could then lend to countries in need. Such a use of the SDR will require a change in the Articles of Agreement. Again, this is another thing that they brought up, that the Digital Nomad Investor brought up in the XRP Manifesto, which created the division between the general resources and SDR accounts. It would, of course, also require all central banks to continue to commit to receiving the SDR as a means of payment, which is what gives it the character of global money. SDRs would thus complement quota increases and eliminate IMF's funding dependence on arrangements to borrow and bilateral credit lines, neither of which are true multilateral instruments. And it seems like this is cut off here, that the IMF staff proposed. Yeah, it is cut off. I don't know why that cut off there. Anyway, it's proposed to the executive board in 2017, and the G20 Eminent Persons Group recommended last year. SDRs could be used to finance such a facility. A number of analysts, Richard Cooperberry, have suggested that any ambitious reform of the SDR should also embrace the private use of this global currency. This could include using SDRs to denominate private or government bonds or as a unit of account in commercial transactions. For example, in commodity pricing. For example, in commodity pricing, we all know that XRP is a commodity. This could be, think about this. This could include using the SDRs to denominate private or government bonds or as a unit of account in commercial transactions. For example, in commodity pricing. A virtual SDR could facilitate the SDR's use in private transactions, creating a global digital asset that could circulate along with national or regional digital assets backed by central banks. This would certainly be preferable to existing digital assets, all of which have experienced highly volatile prices. So what they're saying is, if they can get this thing, if there's this asset out there, they can use like as a commodity and have it fixed to a certain price because of things like the NASDAQ, then it's going to be a digital asset that does not have volatility. right? This would certainly be preferable to existing digital assets, all of which have experienced high volatile prices, or to use Facebook Libra, which faces monumental regulatory challenges and nearly and universal opposition by governments. I don't know how much I want to read. Despite the appeal of a market SDR, though, something further in finance IMF programs with the SDRs that have been allocated, thus enabling global monetary creation to take place in a way similar to that in which central banks create domestic money. This would be the most important reform of the system and would echo the proposed. This is the same thing, is it not? It is the same thing. Multiple benefits. The more active use of SDRs would have 3 additional advantages. First, it would spread across all countries. The signage, I've never seen that word before in my life, generated by issuing a global currency. Second, it will reduce the demand for emerging markets and developing economies for foreign exchange services as self-insurance. Both advantages would be enhanced if there was an agreement to take into account factors besides quota contributions to increase developing economies. Share in SDR allocations. Third, it would make the international monetary system more dependent of U.S. monetary policy. Third, it would make the international monetary system more independent. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. And this is the big one, right? This is where you see that, major nations, people from BRICS, and this is where they're wanting to move, right? Third, it would make the international monetary system more independent of U.S. monetary policy, guys. You see what I'm saying there, guys? Can you see me now? You see what that's saying? Let me know if they can see me still. Please. I have to switch. See, when I go here, I don't know if they can still see me. In the left corner. No, you should be able to see me here. I'm on this one. In the top right corner, do you see me there? I'm frozen there again? So anyway, I don't know why it's freezing on that one, guys. Just don't know why. But you guys, hopefully you can see me now. But guys, does that not make sense? Does that not make sense? Is that not massive? You see that third advantage? It says multiple advantages in the third one. It would make the international monetary system more independent of the U.S. dollar policy or U.S. policy, right? That is the difference. That is the difference big time. This is where we're going, guys. I mean, that is huge. I'm going to get that out again and try to, I'm going to go over that again, probably in another just a little short video. But that is massive. That is massive in a lot of ways. Let me go back over here. That is the thing, is it not? Greetings, Siege, says XRP Harlem. How you doing, my friend? How you doing, my friend? What's going on? Matt LaRoche, regional currencies like a BRICS regional currency? Great question, Matt LaRoche. Have you seen that article yet, Matt LaRoche, that I just went over? I got it from XRP Solomon. King Solomon. I mean, that dude's been on fire today. That's a good question. Regional currencies like a BRICS regional currency. Everything that needs to happen is happening, says TJ Jackson. Just think, the fact that article comes out about the fact that the SDR, that the IMF is considering a different way to deal with SDRs. And I'm telling you guys, if you have not checked it out, check out the video from the Digital Nomad Investor, and he goes over He goes over the XRP manifesto, and I believe it's on 3.0 now. So it's like his third, the third revision, if you wish, third version I'm telling you, got to check it out. I've checked out each one, the first, second, and third, and I'm telling you, it's playing out just like he said. And he has a background in dealing with, these kind of powers that be, if you will, because he has a background in dealing kind of in the government and, some kind of different stuff, like, like there's a reason why he's in a different country, that type deal, right? So some inside stuff, some inside stuff. So to think about that, might be frozen due to your memory limitation on that PC. I don't know. This is a brand new thing. And I think sometimes what happened with OBS is this is other kind of OBS.exe or something that I was reading earlier today, that it snatches up your memory. So hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, so, what you said? Yeah, so, I mean, just think about that. Baltony Griffiths Jr., what's going on, my friend? How you doing? So that's massive in a lot of ways, guys. I mean, holy cow. Let me get here and see what's going on. Deep Mind Lab Visionaire says, I don't care about price until $100. Most retail will cash out before 50%, I believe. Yeah, so people are going to be, I'm telling you, Matt LaRose, yeah, I'm just saying overnight, boom, $10. Like the vast majority of people cashing out. F. Castle said, I got more XRP last night. I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm looking at that 20-cent mark for my next one. Matt LaRose says, Trump put 3 federal governments in place after the election. How many is there? 7? He also promoted Powell. So you tell me who has the power in the Fed as far as direction. Yeah. Listen, and we can never forget the Executive Order 13772. Again, he signed it. It was about this new digitalization, right, of money. He signed it. And so did, I believe, Powell or Mnuchin, one of the two. Now we can see you. Now it works crystal clear. All right. That's right. Morris Prince C7. He says, yes, they know. They are just on that level without question. When keeping your mouth shut about certain things is where they derive their power. Absolutely. We know Trump has a tip bot that says 4-6 in crypto. What's going on, bro? Yeah, we sure do. Yeah, and we can't forget about you're right about that, Matt LaRose. Trump's friend Ken Kirsten is a Ripple board member and a good friend to Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Cannot forget about it, without question, which means he is in the know. And those boys, Kushner and Kirsten, they don't mess around. They're about making money, and they know what's up. And again, I said this on a video before. I've heard some, I've never heard more stories. I've never heard more stories of people taking 6 figures, wherever they're getting their 6 figures from, I don't even know, and going out and purchasing SRP. I mean, 6 figures. Yeah, I'm getting some of that. And I read you guys that quote from the dude from Wall Street, right? Did you guys remember that quote that I read from the dude from Wall Street? Let me read that to you. Then I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to read this to you again. This was crazy. Let me read this. This is crazy, right? It says, thank you for addressing this. This was a dude. His name is Joseph Brunetti. He was on the Kimes stream one day. He says, thank you for addressing this. I can tell you this fact. Plenty of us on Wall Street have nice bags and are stocking up for Christmas 2020. Wall Street. This dude's, I can tell you this fact. Plenty of us on Wall Street have nice bags and are stocking up for Christmas 2020. And then you got my banker friend, Robert, on here saying the things that he's saying about, the bank's going to be kind of slow, but all of a sudden out of the blue, boom, it's on. And it's at some kind of price because NASDAQ is confirming, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 banks using it. And this is liquidity going through it. And they've been doing it for 6 months. Who knows? NASDAQ says, boom, this is liquidity XRP. This is the price. just like that. And that could be a way to keep the masses from getting XRP. Like if it was $100 or $200, how many people, when they, when the back is doing their thing and RXX and exchange and the Nasdaq, how many people are gonna be buying XRP at $50? Do you think at $50? Let me think about this one. Do you think at $50 that the people from Fidelity, let's say it's $50 a week from now, do you think the people from Fidelity is going to be, because they got the Fidelity digital assets website, and they're all ready for crypto. When they bring their clients in, let's say they're bringing in a new client, you think they're going to tell them to buy XRP now? It's $50? Probably not. Yeah, at one point this was a great, it was 20 cents. It was a great, yeah. They're probably going to tell them to get into some other thing. So, and maybe that's the plan, because we cannot forget, retail investors were not supposed to. It was not meant for, let's put it to you this way, it was not meant for retail investors to hold. Just was not. Oh, you did? You sent me that DM? Okay, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Ken Curson, right? Crystal clear. Now it works. Now we can see you. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, so, just think about that. Thank you, Valton E. Griffith Jr. Great content. Keep up the good job. Thank you. Matt LaRose says, not me. I'd be buying some up. Not me. Like, if it's $50, you're not buying it, right? Not me. I'd be buying some other emerging coin. Yep. And I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of people, the mainstream, the masses that are going to come in, and even people in the space. They're probably not, they're probably only going to buy up to like $10. Right? Why would you spend $50? Like, a lot of us, our bags are set. And I'm telling you, they're not giving, it feels as though they are not giving the masses a chance. That's what it feels like to me. I have no confirmation of this, but it feels like to me that they are not giving the masses a chance to do what a lot of us in the XRP community have done and pick up all these bags. It just kind of feels this way. And I got this banker guy saying that statement like that, all but to be kind of like out of nowhere, boom, flip, the switch is flipped. This is the price, and who's going to question it? Who's going to question it? Here's the thing I know. If NASDAQ say it, I know. If NASDAQ says that this is the price and this is based on liquidity and what's Trump going to say? Wow, it's kind of crazy that it went from 20 cents to $50. This is NASDAQ. He's not going to second guess him. He's not going to question it. He knows. They know. I'm telling you, it's feeling more and more like that. That's why I'm saying, people get all kind of crazy about the prices. They be excited about an opportunity to get 4 for 1 and 5 for 1. Better be excited about it. What is that? The real Rick G said, I heard Ripple the company is located in a building Trump owns. Is that right? XRP Harlem says, like the video close-up shot. Nice. Okay, cool. Thank you. I was been testing that out to see what's up. I'm glad I figured out how the way to do it. I'm such a novice on this streaming thing. This OBS is an interesting challenge, to say the least. They're renting a huge office in Goldman Sachs building, says Matt LaRoche. Are you talking about that's the one in where Ripple currently is in San Fran, Matt LaRoche? XRP Harlem says the sound is good. Is very good, clear and no echo. That's excellent. That's good to know. I finally got that sound settings good. But for some reason, XRP Harlem, when I play a YouTube video, for some reason, it just ends up being spotty. And I don't know why. Like, I can't figure it out. Why that happens. But for some reason, it will happen. So when I'm in this full screen like this, and then I go switch to play something or go to a different thing, you can't see the video or hear it. because this is a full screen. I have to change the scene. Valton E. Griffith Jr. says, fully agree with your assessment of the market and where it's going in the future, right? And so, absolutely. Yep, 73 people in the stream, guys. Hit the like and subscribe on the way in. Again, we're making that run to 5,000 subs. We're going to do whatever it takes then to do. We're going to be bringing some serious content. Hi, C, says John Citizen 76. What's going on, my friend? How are you? Josh JT, how are you, brother? Says, keep stacking XRP. The real Rick G said, that's what I read. Okay, gotcha. I've tried the vegan thing. I'm kind of the real Rick G says, "Are you a meat eater or a plant food diet kind of vegan or a vegan?" Yeah, we tried the vegan thing for a little bit. It's kind of got kind of a little bored of it. So we're really now we're on the meats, but it's 85% of the time it's organic, type stuff. It's always kind of organic. Rarely will we eat anything that is not organic when it comes to meat. Absolutely. Good, bro. Good. Good to hear that, John. Glad to hear you're doing well, man. So, yeah, I mean, think about that, guys. Appreciate that. 56 likes, 71 people in the stream. Definitely appreciate that. Please, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to sub on your way out if you haven't subbed already. I mean, so that is the thing, guys. And when you think about that, and I know you guys missed the beginning of the stream, John and Josh, we talked about the man himself, Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao. Investing in Securitize. Yeah, without question, deep mind, lab visionaire. And that's such a good thing. And I'm glad you're saying that, my man. CJ, as your channel grows, please stay grounded. I know, man. I know I'm going to have this conversation with someone who's a really good, a really popular person in the XRP community. And here's my thing. If you have some success, right? If you have some success, I always say this all the time. The success that you've had, if you've had some success, the success that you have behind the camera and off camera and behind the camera is different than the success that you have in front of the camera. And right, so online or on the internet and in front of the camera, that success is completely different than the success you have offline and behind the camera. And you really have to handle them differently because it's a different thing when you begin to have success online and in front of the camera. It's a different kind of thing, without question. And I watched some of the content creators kind of, lose their way, right? Because I don't know, you just, we were doing a thing one time and this is where I first really noticed, to be honest with you, right? We were growing doing our business, doing our thing online. We were growing our business page on Facebook. And, I could kind of catch, at least kind of catch myself being really kind of focused in on a comment, right? Because we were doing tons of Facebook Lives, right? Kind of being really focused on the comments. Were they good? Were they positive? Really kind of letting the comments kind of get to me. Checking every day, like checking 2 or 3 times a day on the amount of people who started following, right? And I remember thinking, yeah, this is way too much. And I remember thinking we had to really flip and start really focusing on what we were delivering, right? The content that we were delivering, because you can get caught up in stuff that don't matter, right? You can end up getting caught up in likes and subs, right? And I get the whole algorithm thing, but yes, staying grounded, without question, you will not have to worry about that, my friend, because I know in the end it's not about that. In the end, it's about the relationship that you and I have, right? That's what it's about. Everything else doesn't matter, especially when you got YouTube snatching up 30, 40, 50% of your content. It's pretty funny. So TJ Jackson, I appreciate that. Hit the likes if you enjoy the content. The road to 5K subs, appreciate that. Real with G, thank you. John Citizen 76 says, you always come off as humble and positive. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, all right, my bro. All right, the real Rick G. I'll see you next time, bro. Adios, bro. He says, adios, hermano. Adios, brother. See you, man. Yeah. Have a good night, man. Yeah, so that's the deal. Absolutely. That is the deal. So Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao, what is up? What's going got a story to tell? I don't think I've seen the stream, my dude. How are you, my friend? Life is good over here, man. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good without question. Without question. So Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao, SBI Holdings invests in Securitize. And Securitize is, Spring invested heavily into Securitize, and they're doing a thing with security tokens. So Mr. Kitao is saying, look, this thing is looking good. It's looking real. It's a strategic investment or partnership, if you will, which means, he sees some advantages for XRP because he is all about XRP. He is all about XRP, right? He is all about XRP. So that is good news for us as XRP hodlers. Trademark hats? I don't have a trademark hat, man. Oh, we talking about Venture, XRP Venture? I watched a couple of his streams. He seems like a nice laid back kind of guy as well. An ebony and ivory kind of thing. I know he did a stream with didn't he do a stream with CKJ? Yeah. Jag17, good to see you in the stream, man. I appreciate that. Crypto Seeds, you are doing a good job, man. Keep them coming. Absolutely, bro. We're going to keep doing our thing for sure. But I'm about to hop off here, guys. It's been an hour and a half. It's been really cool hanging out with you guys, man. I look forward to talking with you guys. I might get lucky and be able to do one tomorrow. Might. But probably it'll be Friday. It'll probably be Friday. But listen, guys, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Listen, guys, never, ever forget this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye. The real Rick G is funny. He said on the sidelines, broke